Welcome to TzuChi This Week. I'm Dennis Wu. It's good to have you with us. And in today's headlines, students attending TzuChi academies across the United States demonstrate that they are learning more than just mastering the use of the Chinese language in school. In Malaysia, Buddhists and residents around Kuala Lumpur joined the first TzuChi conservation workshop and discuss how together they can better our environment. And we meet a resident of Dai Second Village by Jakarta's Angke River to understand what prompted this Muslim woman to join the ranks of TzuChi volunteers. As summer approaches, schools across the United States are getting ready for summer breaks by holding graduation and completion ceremonies, and this includes the country's TzuChi academies. In Houston, Texas, students demonstrate that they had learned more than the use of Chinese language, while in Chicago, Illinois, though there were only 4 in the graduating class, they had made their teacher very proud. 12 years may seem like a long time, but to the graduates of Chicago TzuChi Academy, their first day in school seemed like it was just yesterday.
I still remember my first day in school. I was very nervous and didn't know what to do. My teacher and classmates were all very nice to me, helping me whenever I needed.
From now on, every Saturday I will be free again to study on my own or hang out with my friends. But at the same time, there will be a void in my heart.
The graduates attended the TzuChi Academy every Sunday over the past 12 years and are now graduating. There are only 4 of them, but their teacher cannot say enough good things about them.
I have never taught a class like this year's graduates. They work seamlessly together as a team and have earned many awards for the academy.
Houston TzuChi Academy is also holding a graduation ceremony. Through these demonstrations, parents know their children learn more than just the language at the academy.
Children should learn about proper values as well. Of course, teamwork is one such important value. Knowing the importance of teamwork will help them when they go out into the real world.
At the TzuChi schools, children are sure to have a good beginning and a solid foundation, which will help them a long way in life. We stay in the United States for our next story to catch up on TzuChi's medical volunteers in California. After taking part in the recent remote area medical free clinics around Sacramento, the medical volunteers then head south to Greenfield to help Hispanic farming families without health insurance, treating a total of 121 patients.
With vegetable patches stretching to the horizon, Salinas Valley is often dubbed the salad bowl of the world for its growing of salad greens.
A large percentage of salad greens consumed in the U.S. comes from Salinas Valley. 90% of the residents are Hispanic, and most of them are farm workers.
Little of the agricultural success of the region is reflected in the lives of local residents. Thus, TzuChi's mobile free clinic makes its stop here at Greenfield, the second most populous city in Salinas Valley. Children and adults dressed in winter jackets arrive early in the cold morning so that they can be further ahead in line for the rare chance to enjoy free medical service.
A lot of the families that are coming in have a lot of need due to lack of insurance and due to the high cost of medical care. Can't see a doctor because they're trying to pay rent, food, and they don't have that extra money. So I'm very grateful for TzuChi Foundation to be here today to offer these wonderful services.
This patient suffers from aches all over his body. The pain in his arms is so severe that he cannot even stretch them out. The doctor carefully listens to the symptoms before making his diagnosis. Greenfield is home to many immigrants from Oaxaca, Mexico, who speak neither English nor Spanish, so at the free clinic, local volunteers serve as translators. A local doctor also offers his expertise.
I enjoy donating my time, and I'm enjoying my stay here today. In the future, I would like to participate with TzuChi. If they have some events where they need a physician, I would be willing to volunteer.
The TzuChi Free Clinic in Greenfield not only treats patients, but also rounds up Good Samaritans who are passionate about serving humanity.
Our next story comes from Los Angeles, where we visit the New Star Healthcare Home, which takes care of people with serious limb disabilities. The Catholic organization is one of TzuChi's long-term partner organizations in Southern California. Volunteers got to know about New Star 18 years ago while caring for someone at the home. Earlier this month, residents took a part in Buddha Day ceremony.
Great. T-O-F-O.
When Ted sees his old friends from TzuChi, he always greets them with an Ami Tofo. The happy-go-lucky man has been looking forward to this mobile Buddha Day service.
And then receiving flowers. Put the flower in your hand, and the third step is blessing to your family, your friends, the people around you. Say the praying words in your heart.
Ted listens to the TzuChi volunteer introduce the gift envelope from Taiwan and the statue of the Buddha.
The Buddha is come from the earth and the moon.
I've never seen Buddha like that.
You never say Buddha like this?
I thought Buddha was a big fat guy.
Californian TzuChi volunteers have been visiting New Start Healthcare in Los Angeles for 18 years. At the home for people with serious limb disabilities, most residents are Catholic, but they have long welcomed the Buddhist organization. Putting aside religious differences, everyone shares in a moment of happiness and joy.
Now traveling to the Middle East. In Jordan, TzuChi volunteers visit 28 Bedouin families, sheltering in the Wadi Abdun area of the capital Amman on a monthly basis. The rising cost of food has made life more difficult for these former desert dwellers who lack identification documents and citizenship. Volunteers also traveled to the Jordan River Valley for a spring relief distribution that benefited 200 households living in the area.
We have arrived at the Jordan River Valley with supplies for 200 households.
In Jordan, TzuChi volunteers have prepared ample amounts of supplies for today's distribution and must work together when unloading them from the truck.
A bag requires 2 people working together. Come now, 2 people per bag. That way it's not too heavy. Thank you, thank you.
Despite rising food costs, volunteers include rice, beans, oil, sugar, and tea in the supplies to alleviate the financial burden on the residents of this low-lying area. Most of those receiving the supplies are women and the elderly, and the volunteers thoughtfully help them carry the heavy supplies home.
We thank them first for giving us the opportunity to serve. It's okay to hug them.
Many local residents and Chinese have been inspired to help out.
Say thank you and bow lower. It's okay. Right, thank you.
TzuChi's humanity is demonstrated in the distribution, as volunteers carry out the work with sincerity and respect. They also remember to inspire local children.
Remember, today we came here to see our brother, sister here. Now, you must study where in the future you are Mohammed doctor. You don't need to come here.
Next, volunteers travel to Amman for their monthly visit. These nomadic Bedouins used to live in the desert raising camels, but have now become shepherds. As time have changed, 28 families without identification and citizenship have taken shelter in the Wadi Abdun area of the capital. For them, finding work is difficult. Here, a candy or a tomato is a wonderful treat for the children. And for the volunteers, it is about building an everlasting bond with these people. We dedicate this segment of our program to environment-related reports. Last Sunday, for the first time, the TzuChi Selangor chapter in Malaysia, in cooperation with several other Buddhist organizations, held a Buddhism and conservation workshop. The organizers hoped that the workshop could help explore the connection between Buddhism and conservation, and in turn, allow participants to better manifest the compassionate spirit of Buddhism. At the Malaysia International Exhibition and Convention Center, TzuChi Selangor chapter is hosting the Buddhism and Conservation Workshop, inviting 530 members of the public and 17 Dharma masters.
This is the first time that all the Buddhist organizations in the Selangor area have come together in a cooperative workshop like this. The goal of the workshop is to give Buddhists and members of the public a deeper understanding of conservation.
A lecturer has flown in from Taiwan to share his own experiences with nature's discord with the audience. He calls on everyone to watch their own footsteps when it comes to saving the earth.
When you think about it, there are so many natural disasters and strange weather patterns happening today. What is the cause of it all? It is man who has caused it. How have we caused it? It has been a gradual process over time. So now is the time to bring together as many people as possible to eliminate this accumulated karma in the quickest time possible.
One can find it said in the sutras, even when walking, we should tread carefully and not cause harm to this planet. Regarding the pure land of the future, it all starts from purity of the heart and of the nation, which ultimately all starts from our own actions.
In addition to driving and spending less, eating vegetarian is an important step for helping the planet. A nutritionist from Singapore clears up some misconceptions of a vegetarian diet.
I find myself sick less, and even if I get a cold, I just make a fruit juice with some fruit and enzymes, and the problem is solved. As well, I find that my constitution is better than before.
As part of the day's activities, a call goes out from TzuChi's vegan movement, which hopes to round up 10,000 people to promise to eat 100 vegetarian meals. If we can follow the Buddha's words in our training and let our great love expand beyond all borders and religious differences, then our beleaguered earth truly has a chance. People anywhere can do their part for the planet, including Taiwan's offshore island of Penghu, where TzuChi's recycling station is located near the Beichen Market in Ma Kong City. The land was donated by Xue Peiqi, who became a volunteer along with his entire family, following the 2002 Penghu air disaster. Today, the 84-year-old can be seen every morning in the market collecting paper boxes, which are brought back to the station to recycle. The station also transforms worn-out clothes into rags to be used on Penghu's many fishing vessels. By finding new life for these discarded garments, volunteers are not only turning garbage into gold, but also exemplifying TzuChi's ideals. Inside TzuChi's Penghu recycling station, a volunteer cuts up a piece of old cloth.
These are to be used as rags on boats and wiping down machinery. If there are still usable buttons on the cloth, we save them and give them to people sewing clothes.
Choosing fabrics with high water absorption from a pile of unsalvageable old clothes, volunteers cut the cloth, deftly avoiding any zippers and buttons, into rag-sized pieces, which are then stacked and weighted. Every 5 kilograms is then tied up neatly and is ready to be picked up and used. At 9 in the morning, 84-year-old Xue Peiqi rides his bicycle to the recycling station. He then walks 200 meters to the nearby Beichen Market.
Is your mum around? I will take this to recycle, okay?
Chumming with everyone he meets, Grandpa Xue carefully counts the amount of recycling he picks up in a day.
If each box nets 4 NT dollars, then with 4 boxes you have made 15 to 16 NT dollars. That is why recycling is so good.
Inspired by the 2002 Penghu air disaster, Grandpa Xue and his family have become loyal TzuChi supporters, donating land to make the recycling station a reality, and giving many in the community a chance to learn how to turn garbage into gold and actualize TzuChi's ideals in their lives. Over the past 5 years, TzuChi volunteers in Guangdong, China have made regular visits to the Taiwan businessman's Dongguan school, where they share with the children topics on humanism and the wisdom of Jinsi aphorisms. Thanks to TzuChi's influence, the school has a comprehensive recycling program in place. This year, school officials invited volunteers to their school fair to discuss humanism and recycling. In addition, volunteers were asked to open a class for middle and senior high school students.
那他有没有担心说你在他的肚子里的时候的那个安全有吗？有。那你当时听到的时候的想法是什么？蛮辛苦的。妈妈蛮辛苦的，是不是？
Teenagers are naturally rebellious. They just need to be understood. Through simple examples of empathy, volunteers teach proper values to these teens.
My mom was pregnant with me for 10 months and then gave birth to me. I feel very thankful that I have had a chance to grow up. We have to know when enough is enough and create blessings and finally thank our moms.
At Taiwan businessman's Dongguan School in China, TzuChi volunteers are teaching middle and senior high students about honoring their parents and proper values at the request of the school's administrators. For the past 5 years, volunteers have regularly visited the school's elementary students and shared TzuChi's ideals. This year's school fair is no exception. At the fair, fairgoers can play bowling at the TzuChi stall, while learn about environmental conservation. The ideas are familiar to the students as their school has been practicing recycling for the past 5 years.
Some things can be used again. Throwing them away would just be a waste, so we can sort them and then use them again. This is more environmentally friendly.
Volunteers do their best to explain how to act in an environmentally friendly way, in hopes that every member of the audience can join in their conservation efforts. Now we go to Indonesia to meet a Muslim TzuChi volunteer. Juhadi is a resident of Dai second village located by the estuary of Angke River in Jakarta. Last year, Juhadi's daughter fell ill, but the family had no money for treatment. Without hesitation, local TzuChi volunteers came to their rescue and saw to it that the girl received proper treatment at a local TzuChi hospital. In gratitude, Juhadi began volunteering for TzuChi and its recycling station.
This woman may not be a teacher, but she takes great pleasure teaching children of this fishing village to read and write. This is 36-year-old Juhati who lives in Da'ai village. When her daughter became sick a year ago, TzuChi was quick to offer help.
Around a year ago, my daughter began spitting blood in the middle of the night. I was still very nervous in the morning, and I went with the food delivery car to the chapter house.
The treatment spanned a year and TzuChi took care of the bills. Juhati breaks down in tears every time she thinks about TzuChi's unconditional assistance.
Ever since then, whenever I think about how my child was helped, I have this urge to contribute my love as a way to express my gratitude for TzuChi.
The ever-grateful Juhati now spends her time helping the needy and participating in recycling work. Juhati is a Muslim, but she feels no conflict serving as a TzuChi volunteer. Juhati's devotion to the new cause has inadvertently helped her husband change for the better.
My husband is not a perfect man. He loves drinking and gambling, but thank heavens he's no longer as short-tempered as before. He used to get drunk very often, but that doesn't happen anymore. He's saving his money for our children's education.
With her daughter now in good health and her husband becoming more family-oriented, Johati is thankful for TzuChi and for the opportunity to serve.
On this day, the 28th of May, Vice President of Taiwan at the time, Mr. Yan Jiagan, cut the ribbon at the opening of the first major cross-island road in northern Taiwan on this day in 1966. Together with the central and southern cross-island highways, the new road was the third connecting route between the east and west coasts of Taiwan. The highway helped promote the development of commerce and tourism across the island. On Shinsen North Road in Taiwan's capital city of Taipei, a fire broke out on the second floor of the Shidai Hotel. Thick smoke quickly filled the corridors and was taken up to higher floors by the air conditioning system. The emergency exits were blocked, leaving guests with no way to escape. Over 300 people were trapped behind the glass curtain wall of the hotel. In the end, 19 died and 51 were seriously injured. Taiwan announced the first successful test flight of the homegrown indigenous defense fighter IDF jet on this day in 1989. The planes would supersede the outmoded F-5Es. At the forefront of Taiwan's air power, the IDFs took on the role of short-range and low- and mid-level defense. Together with Mirage 2000 jet fighters bought from France and F-16s from the United States, the planes helped maintain the military balance across the Taiwan Strait. In the first case of its kind at Dalian TzuChi Hospital, doctors performed cardiac surgery on a premature baby weighing just 600 grams on this day in 2001. After over 100 days of scrupulous care, the so-called palm-sized infant was released from hospital. The Indonesian island of Java was rattled by a 6.3 magnitude earthquake on May 27, 2006, causing a serious death and casualty toll. The TzuChi Indonesia chapter immediately sent a disaster assessment team to the area, arriving by military plane in hard-hit Yogyakarta on this day. The team set up a medical treatment station and handed out aid to survivors. Later, the volunteers would launch a mid- and long-term program.
At the end of today's program, we travel to Asuncion, Paraguay, where TzuChi volunteers deliver wheelchairs to infirm elderly residents so they could go outside once again. Thank you for watching TzuChi This Week. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.